Hey everybody, this is Shantae So Salty, and I just want to comment or respond to the post that I posted yesterday about where I asked the question, what do you think it means when somebody says, oh, you're so salty, or that person is so salty? Oh my God. Of course, most of you responded, with the meaning of saltiness as something or someone being jealous or hating on you or something like that. Well, I want to start off by saying uh, the devil is petty, right? He's real petty. So basically, what he has done from the beginning of time, if you read the word, if you've read Genesis at all or heard it taught, you see in the word where when God was finished completing or creating the world with his words, he ends the day by saying, basically, and I'm paraphrasing, it's all good. Everything in creation, once he was done, God was like, it's all good. Everything is good. So Satan, the devil, and his pettiness, he's the OG of pettiness. His sole purpose and goal is to pervert everything good in this world. He hates God so much, he resents God so much that anything that God made, everything that God created, that which was everything that was good, he perverts it. He wants to destroy it, he perverts it, and he's the OG of pettiness. And his mindset is basically, if you read the word, once he realized what his the end goal is for him, he's basically like, okay, hell was created for me and the other fallen angels, so I'm going to take as many human beings with me as possible. And I said all that to say, he perverts even our words. He even perverts the language that we speak. And so we see in scripture in Matthew chapter 5, verse 13, where Jesus speaking to believers, people who believed him to be the Christ, and he says to his followers, he says to these believers, you are the salt of the earth. If the salt loses its saltiness, then what good is it? You are the light of the world, right? So I'm sticking with the salt. I'm sticking with the saltiness. And I'm here to tell you that being salty from the basis of scripture, it's a good thing. Every born again believer, everybody that refers or considers themselves a Christian should be salty. Why? Because Jesus says you are the salt of the earth. And if you lose your saltiness, then you're no good. What does that mean? Basically, God is saying you are salt. You are put in the earth to preserve, to preserve holiness, to preserve righteousness in the world, in the earth. And in order to do that, what we cannot do is be like the world or be conformed to this world or be carnal, worldly like. We can't do everything that the world does. We can't speak the way that the world speaks. We can't behave the way that the world behaves. We have to come to the place in our walk with Christ to separate ourselves and consecrate ourselves and become more like Christ each day. And by doing that, we're essentially being salty. We're essentially being the salt of the earth. And in all of that, we're being an example to other believers and to those who have not yet accepted Jesus Christ. Like, why would anybody want to become a Christian if the people who claim to be Christian is doing everything that the world does? So that is definitely not the goal. So even though Satan has perverted the word, saltiness. God is redeeming that word. And he's calling his people, he's encouraging his people to be salty, to be the salt of the earth. And that's all I have for you. Shantae So Salty, signing off.